Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at this 2008 BMW 535i xDrive. This is a car that we've seen before. This is the one that I've kind of been fixing up and just getting ready to sell, and it is now time to sell it. So we'll just take a look around here. I know in some of the earlier videos I talked about there was a little bit of a wobble with the wheels. We actually got some used rims to put on the car and had the tires reinstalled. The rims that came on the car weren't original, so no loss there. These are in pretty nice shape. Also took care of just some general cleaning and TLC to get it all up to snuff. So as you can see, everything's in pretty good shape around the back and down the sides. The only really things that are remaining with this car that somebody might want to deal with are just some cosmetic things. You can see on the hood there, it looks pretty good, but there's a little bit of some real fine scratches, so it's not perfect. Other than that, there's just some chips and scratches that are normal for a car with with this mileage, which I think is around 120-some thousand. We'll take a look at it then later, and also 12 or 13 years old at this point. So let's start around here at the back. So I'll get the key fob out of my pocket here. So the typical German car thing with when you press the key fob, the trunk will pop open. So let's see if I can get that. All right, here's the key, so just go ahead and, all right, there we go. Typical BMW stuff, the toolkit up here, and this has all been cleaned up pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty decent. You've got the spare tire and the jack and also the towing eye inside. Some separate little compartments here, and some luggage tie downs there as well. You've got these up here to fold the rear seat down, and then there is a pass-through at the back of the trunk. So pretty nice sized trunk overall. Again, this is a 535i, and this is the xDrive or all-wheel drive version. Take a look here in the rear seat. So check out this interior. I really like this one. This is pretty cool. So you've got black carpet and some black interior pieces, and then also the tan seats, or I guess not tan, but kind of a nice light brown. And then this one also has all-weather floor mats as well. So all the wood in this car is in really good shape. No splits or cracks. It's not checked. It's just in really nice shape. No rips or tears in any of the leather or the seats or any of the trim. So you've got just the door handle here and the window switch. Some little compartments here. You got the ashtray there, same on the other side. Nice door sills here as well. They're not all scratched up. Little storage compartments, or I guess, I don't know, pockets. I guess I couldn't think of the word pockets on the back of the seats there. And everything's in really good shape here as well. You've got adjustable headrests. Nice speakers in the back there as well. And then this is your middle seat, or your armrest that folds down. And then you've got this little compartment inside. And then this right here, I'm not going to open that. That's the pass-through, and I think there's also I haven't really looked at it. I can't remember. Yep, there's the little ski bag or whatever that's for there. Something I'd never use myself, but it's there if you need it. And center buckle there, and this can be detached and rolled up. Another nice thing here, you've got nice climate control. You can adjust the airflow and the temperature. You've got power outlets, one on each side, and then the rear seats here are heated as well, and that does in fact work. Same thing on the other side. You also have nice courtesy lights when you get in. Up above you've got some lights there, and then there's some other stuff going on there as well. So let's take a look at the front here. On this side, pretty simple. You've got side airbags up here, speakers on the doors. Again, the wood is in really nice shape. Door sill, and then the adjustable seats here. You've got memory, and then a couple different settings. So you've got this one here, which adjusts out. We won't go through all of them, but you've got that, and then your typical, adjustments forward and backwards for the seat, up and down, and you can also adjust the headrest up and down off this switch right here. We'll put that back. One thing that this one has that other BMWs wouldn't have is this little switch right here, and that controls the middle of the seat. So it'll actually bend and right in the center there, which is really cool. You also have lumbar adjustment here, up and down, back and forth. So very adjustable, very comfortable seating in this car. You also have this little pocket here, decent glove box here. The owner's manual and all the information is inside. You've got your cup holders up here, typical BMW stuff. One up here as well. And those all work. Just take a look at that. Everything is in nice, real nice shape here. All right, we'll take a look at the rest from the other side. All right, let me start this thing up. BMW's typical stuff, but it is kind of cool. You put the key in on the side here, and then that locks in. You put your foot on the brake. You just press the start-stop button there, and the seat actually will adjust in, and you know, the bolsters will tighten around you. Then you've got the most annoying sound in all of Autodom, as far as I'm concerned. There, I hate that BMW sound, but that's just me. Starting on the doors here again, nice wood trim in good shape. You've got all your window switches here, and they all work. Automatic front windows, automatic rear windows. They all go down, no problem. Just go ahead and put those back up. You also have adjustable mirrors here, both sides, and then you've got this button here which will fold the mirrors in. Really cool feature that I really have no use for, but it's kind of cool if it's there. And then this one here that'll lock out the other windows there for you. You've got your adjuster here for the lights on the instrument cluster and gauges. You've got your fog lights there, and then automatic off parking lamps, and also your manual setting for the headlamps there. Going over to this side, you've got your automatic climate control. Pressing these buttons brings up a display on the screen, and you can adjust how much air blows out of each vent, and you can adjust where the air blows out of. So very cool that that's done there, as opposed to a knob like in a Chevy Impala, for example, which we can take a look at someday. Then you've got your rear defrost, front defrost, AC, max AC, recirculation. Same on the other side. One interesting thing is that when you're sitting up here, this is something I didn't notice until a little bit after this car, but you can clearly see that's the temperature. I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, you can see it there. But the interesting thing is if you go down a little bit, it actually does say temperature on both sides, which is cool. It's just you don't really see it at the angle that you'd be sitting. So very interesting. You've got your volume and mute button there. CD changer here, or CD changer here, I guess, and I guess that maybe that's for the navigation. We'll look at that. But then you've got your presets, AM, FM. You also have auxiliary, and I believe you had satellite radio as well, although that's not active right now. One cool thing is when you bring your finger kind of near the button, you can see it'll actually, here, I'll see if I can show all of it. If you just go near it but don't press the button, it'll bring up the presets, which is kind of cool. You've got your lock up here, and then also the hazards right there. Then you've got the first generation iDrive control, probably one of the least nice to use, but you know, it's kind of now one of the best in the industry. But you start here on this the center screen, and again, this one will kick, you know, backwards, forwards, over, and then it's left and right, and then it'll spin as well. And then you have a menu button to kind of go back. So it's kind of weird, but if you go through, if you can go over to navigation, it's going to need the DVD for that. You know, so that's probably not something you're going to want to use on this. It makes sense more just to use a smartphone for communication. It will connect to your phone via Bluetooth for calling, but if there is Bluetooth streaming, I haven't figured it out, and that's mainly because I just haven't looked. If you go over to climate, it'll bring up a lot of these settings. You can change a lot of stuff in there. Very cool. And then entertainment is really just audio. So again, AM, FM, weather band, satellite, CD if you had it in there, and then auxiliary. And as far as auxiliary goes, you've got an aux jack and I believe USB in the console here. And I've got my aux cable hooked up there, and yep, there is USB there as well. So again, not really something I get into. I'm not going to learn every little feature on a car that I'm not going to have for too long. I've got your traction control button there, and this one does have a parking sensor, so that's the button to deactivate that, which I can demonstrate then a little bit later. And then you've got heated seats up here as well. Nice little bin there. There's your cigarette lighter and ashtray, and then you've got the shifter and the parking brake here. Now this shifter is very cool. It's very different. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it, but it is neat. You've got park up here on the top, and then reverse neutral drive, but it always reverts back to a center position. So for example, to shift out of park into reverse, you would press this little side switch and then push it forward, and then you can either pull back like that and it'll get you into drive, or if you're in reverse, I think if you do this, it'll go the whole way back to drive. Kick it over to the left for the manual shift gate, but also just sport mode. So if you just kick it over, that sport mode, and then once you start to shift, it'll go into manual mode there as well. And one interesting thing with this is that if it is in park, see, I think this is the issue that I have with this. You know, you press it forward for reverse and back to go forward, so that's just kind of an odd feature. It does work really well though, as we'll demonstrate on the road. It's you know, typical BMW, very direct, very nice control. As far as the steering wheel goes, horn in the center. You've got these two here. Those would be shortcuts in the iDrive system. You've got some extra controls here for the phone and Bluetooth, and then volume over here on the side. You've got this one here. These here, which control some programs in the gauges there. And yeah, there's our mileage right there, 122,577 as of the date of the film. And then down here you've got controls for cruise control. It's not really focusing very well there. And then you've got this button right here, that's your heated steering wheel. And then this one does have the tilt and telescope for the wheel. And then on this side you've got your wipers there, and they're automatic in this car. Up top you have the light for the alarm system, and then the home link buttons for garage or gate door, garage door or gate opener there on the mirror. You have reading lights here. That's the main lamp there. The SOS button there underneath the little pop down cover. This is the indicator for the passenger side airbag, and then the sunroof does work. You have the vent feature, and then if you slide it back, it will open itself. All works well, very proper. Go ahead and slide that forward. You've got your visors here, and then when you slide that back, the light comes on. When you put it away, it shuts off. Very nice. All right, let's take a look under the hood and go for a drive. Under the hood, we have a 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged, connected to a 6-speed automatic transmission that develops about 300 horsepower. This all hasn't been detailed perfectly. You know, this car's been driven and will be driven, so I didn't go to a tremendous length here, but it's all in pretty good shape, and it's all there. We've just had a recent oil change done, and the transmission service has been done. Also, the new front brake calipers are new as well. All right, let's take it out on the road. All right, here's a little demonstration of the parking sensors. Basically, I'm in the driveway here, and I'll put the car in reverse, and as you can see, I've got the gate behind me. But basically, as I back up, here, I'll kind of show you the mirror there. As we get closer, see, it's sensing the curb there on the driver's side, so it knows that we're close. We've got a little wall there. But anyway, as you go back, it kind of indicates what's back there. So again, I'm going back really slow here, but you can see you've got green, it's hard to see, but you've got green, yellow, and then it's blinking right now because it sees the red up front. So it's kind of an odd thing there, but basically the beep gets faster and then stays on. The interesting thing is once you put the car in park, the noise doesn't stop. So even after you get out of it and you're back to the menu, essentially if you sat in the car with it in park, having parked in a tight space, it would continue making this. Finally, we're gonna just turn it off there. It would continue to make that noise. But then look, if you turn it back on, it'll do it again. Just start. So why would they do that? Why would they do that? It's so annoying. And then of course if you deactivated it, you'd probably forget and back right into the gate. So I don't know. I'll take a backup camera myself. Or just not have anything. So I'm just driving along here about 25-30 miles an hour or so. Everything's nice and calm, very quiet. The heating and air conditioning works great in this car. Nice stereo if I had it on. I'll maybe demonstrate that later. It's got a nice ride. It's maybe not as soft as say like a 3 Series, but not a 3 Series, an E-Class I should say, but it's very dynamic, very nice to drive. It's a little bit more sharp and crisp than an E-Class. I think an E-Class is a little bit more oriented towards comfort, though oddly this car is still very comfortable inside. The seats and controls, everything very nice and nice to use. It's not any less of a luxury experience than an E-Class. This is, however, quite a bit different than that 3 Series that I drove a little while ago with the same motor. This car rides a lot softer, the steering's a lot lighter, which I actually prefer. It's just a less of a harsh, stiff ride. This is a lot more comfortable in my opinion. This is a really nice riding car. I just have the transmission right now in normal. It's not in the sport mode, which is interesting because this car can be very comfortable, and it's, you know, you wouldn't know that it has as much power as it does under the hood there. But when you kick it over into sport mode, the personality of it really does change a lot. Also, the brakes aren't quite as grabby initially as the 3 Series that I drove. These are a lot more linear, which I actually like better. It's a lot easier to gauge how quickly you're going to stop, you know, depending on how hard you press the pedal. So that's really nice as well. I've switched it over into sport mode now, and it's really fun going up the hill like this. The throttle becomes instantly more responsive. It locks out 6th gear, and just becomes a lot more powerful. It doesn't really hide any of the power anymore. It becomes, you know, it gives you everything. And when you press the pedal to the floor, it will go right to red line and get up and go. And of course, at speeds like this, it really feels planted, very sturdy, very secure on the road. And the all-wheel drive helps it handle really well. I was driving this car a lot when we had a bunch of snow and driving it through mud and you know, loose gravel and stuff. You know, not at high speeds or anything, but it really had no issue getting stuck where, you know, a lot of other vehicles were in the recent snow that we had. It was pretty icy and cold this winter, so it was neat. I've never really driven an all-wheel drive car in the winter like that. It was very nice, really nice to be able to not drive the Mercedes. Check that out. So there is a feature on here. I almost would have forgot to show that, but when it changes from 1 hour to the next, there can be a little reminder. And I remember the first time that happened, just really freaked me out because you're not expecting it, but it's just a little alert that it's switching over to the next hour. Very nice stuff. You're riding along in a very comfortable, quiet car. Let's see if we can get this stereo on here later then and stuff, but everything's at your fingertips there as far as the controls. Nice, again, nice climate control. Just a really nice place to be. You really do feel special driving a car like this. It's just a little bit special. All right, so I filmed these videos myself. Maybe someday I'll have somebody to film for me, but anyway, I didn't want to try to drive, work with the camera, and then also turn the radio on. But anyway, I do have it up now. Not the best song to, I guess, test a stereo with, but anyway, it does have nice bass, sounds really good, nice rich tones there. So anyway, just a really nice car to drive. This is a really nice sunny day here in central PA. We did have a little bit of rain this week, but you know, this is a nice car that you could drive every day of the week and then also enjoy, you know, driving in the country as we're doing today. So this car is now offered for sale. I'm done with it. It's not perfect. It will need some things. Everything will be disclosed in the ad, but you know, overall pretty nice car considering the age and the mileage. It's definitely above average, that's for sure. So this car is offered for sale. I'll change the video title, you know, just to make sure that it says, you know, sold at the beginning of the title. When I do get it sold, time for fuel. Anyway, so I will change the title, so if anybody's interested, you could reach out to me, although I think it's going to go pretty quick. It's already advertised locally, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, another reason I have to get it sold is there's already been another project car purchased, which I'm really excited about. So more on that later. And also with the Saab, I did get that back from the shop. Things are pretty good. I do have a couple things I need to take care of, but the main thing is that the fuel level sender seems to be fine. So I was really excited about that. I can overlook the rest, at least for now, and I can get over it. So I was pretty happy with that. All right, well, yeah, nothing fancy here today. Just wanted to kind of have a little bit of a look at this car before it goes. Thank you for watching, and again, if you have any interest, please do reach out on YouTube and maybe social media or any other of that stuff that I have on the channel. All right, thanks for watching.